Good evening, everybody in the chat room. Thank you for joining. Listen, apologies for being late. I was on the phone for about 55 minutes to a very good friend of mine. So big up Paul, big himself up. And yeah, I do apologize for being late. It's not normally like me to be late. Normally I'm pretty much on time. Sometimes 5-10 minutes, but not normally 45 minutes late. So yeah, big up everybody, all the moderators and everybody in the chat room. But let's speak about Mesut Ozil and Kolasinac. Unai Emery's basically come out. This is what he's had to say. Let me read it rather than making it up. Let's read what he has actually said. Unai Emery said, "The club is managing the circumstances. We want to be with them. We want them to be with us as soon as possible, and with normality in training and normality to be ready to play. But I don't know when they will be available." So that's quite worrying. Let's be real. This is quite worrying. The fact that we've got two players that are normally first team players, especially on home games. Ozil plays most home games. We also have, say, Kolasinac, who is normally involved in the squad. He plays a lot of games as well. And both of them on a weekly wage of about, what, 500 grand a week? So we need to sort this out pretty sharpish, and we need to make sure that there's some sort of resolve to this ASAP, because we don't know when they're coming back to training. We don't know when they're coming back to game time. We can't go throughout the whole season right now of these players not being able to play games. That just can't happen. I think that, you know, it's kind of worrying that two of our players are being targeted. But at the same time, us as a football club need to look at it and say, do you know what? We're a football club. I blame you fully for me being 43 minutes late. But no, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Nice to speak to you always, bruv. Thank you. But no, listen, Mesut Ozil and Kolasinac are obviously under some sort of witch hunt right now. Both of them are being targeted, and both of them are getting threats against their lives, I'd imagine. That's why it's such a security risk. But at the same time, we as a football club need to make a decision. We need to go out and actively sit there and say, do you know what? For the benefit of this football club, we need to make a decision. Do we keep them? Well, some people would say yes, some people would say no. But £500,000 a week, and we don't know when they're coming back. That's a worry, and that is a big worry going forward for the rest of this season. For me, I think it's probably best to cut ties. I think it's probably best to say, do you know what, for the safety of your families, for the safety of you, for the safety of match day fans, because let's be real, if they turn up at a game and there is something like on them, I don't know how deep this goes. I don't know what the background is of it. There's very little being put out into the media, but I know that a couple of Turkish people from London were arrested outside Mesut Ozil's house the other day. That was all over the internet. They're from Turkish descent. They were arrested outside his house. So does this go back to the political side of things, where he's gone and had photographs, pictures, had him as his best man, the leader of Turkey? Is it all to do with this? Is it all to do with the fact that he chose Turkey over Germany? I doubt it. I think it's more to do with the Erdogan thing. But yeah, I think that this needs to be resolved one way or another. And at the end of the day, we're Arsenal Football Club. We can't be having £500,000 worth of wages going out of this football club every week and two players not playing. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate that. I'm not sure them three could sort it out though, but thank you. But yeah, listen, it's kind of why players are being targeted. I don't know whether Kolasinac by just being a friend of Ozil's, or whether there's anything more in it. Like I said, there's not a lot of stuff going out into the media circles right now, but it is extremely worrying as a football fan that's going to turn up to football matches. If they get included in the squad, does that have repercussions for anybody who's at the ground? You know, and Arsenal need to make a decision very quickly on this, whether we bin them and get rid and they go abroad and try and get a little bit of safety net somewhere else, or whether we step up the protection and get them into the match day squad. But at the same time, I've never heard of anything like this ever in all my years of over 30 years of watching football. It's kind of a bit scary, if I'm being honest. You know, Mesut Ozil, we know that he's friends with Erdogan. Say Kolasinac is friends with Ozil. And now Sky Sports have plotted up outside Ozil's house. People now know where he lives. That's going to heighten it even more. All the media rocking up outside the house. It's made it a big thing. And I don't know. I just think that, for me, I didn't want Ozil here anyway. Yeah, this isn't, and listen, hear me out here, because I'm not saying, oh, this is the way we get him out, right? Okay, so just hear me out. I didn't want Ozil here this season anyway. The fact that this has all come to light since the attempted robbery of Ozil and Kolasinac when they were in London a couple of weeks ago, and now all of this has come off of the back of it. We've seen a couple of reports come out saying that they've been targeted quite a few times now. So I don't know. Listen, I don't wish that upon anyone. Yes, I don't rate Mesut Ozil as a footballer. I don't think he's all that. But at the same time, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. At the end of the day, he's a footballer for Arsenal Football Club. And whether I think he's any good or not, he's still a paid employee of the club. And he's still a human being. And I wish him well. And I hope that he is safe. And I hope that his family's safe. Listen, he's got a beautiful missus. And I hope that I hope she's safe as well. Obviously, same with Kolasinac and his wife. But it is really off key to hear of anything like this in football. You don't normally hear it. For the safety of them players, they are not allowed to travel to games. You've got the Queen, you've got other people, Donald Trump, other dictators across the world. They managed to get around fine. So how are Mesut Ozil and say Kolasinac not being able to get to games? I know it's only the first game of the season, so don't get me wrong. It's not going to be a case of let's sit here and bash them. It's not their fault in terms of people rocking up at their house. That's disgusting. No matter what you think of them, who they hang around with, you don't start doing that sort of shit. But I just think it's a little bit over the top. And Arsenal got a massive, massive issue going into this season because, like I said, regardless of what you think of them as footballers, obviously you want them to be safe. You also want all the members of staff at the club to be safe, whether it be home or away. You want every single football fan that travels to the game to be safe. But it don't look like that's the case right now, which is why they never travelled to Newcastle. And if that is the case, which it seems to be, which is why they never travelled to Newcastle, then we have got a big dilemma to make by the end of this month. Do we sell them and try and just get whatever we can for them and get them off the wage bill? Or do we keep them, step up the security and try and get them into the team? But is that to the detriment of every single person in the stadium? I don't know. One thing I will say is 500 grand a week for them two on the wage bill, and them not being able to come back into the club yet. It's a little bit off key right now, and don't quite sit right with me. Listen, it's not nice that they're going through some bad times, and you don't want anyone to turn up outside your house giving you grief. You don't even want reporters turning up outside your house, let alone fucking idiots turning up trying to threaten you. But at the same time, we've got to go forward as a football club. And if that means cutting ties with both of these guys, then, well, unfortunately, that's what we've got to do. And maybe they would be a little bit safer going abroad. I don't know. I don't know what the background of all this drama is. I don't know whether it is to do with the Turkish dictator. I don't know whether it's to do with the robbery or the attempted robbery that happened in London the other week. I'm not too sure, but it's a little bit weird. And why is this the sort of thing that happens to Arsenal? Why doesn't this happen to somebody else like Chelsea or Tottenham or United? Why is it Arsenal that are involved in this sort of thing? I just don't get it. Listen, it's a bit baffling to me. But anyway, there's nearly 10 minutes of me rambling on. Paul says, Sky Sports showing his house. Yeah, I agree. Now everyone knows where he lives. That could heighten it even more. If they don't leave, they should be sold. Well, listen, I wanted Ozil sold anyway, and Kolasinac. I don't think anyone came in for Mesut Ozil, which is why he's still here. But listen, like I said, I just want to reiterate, yeah, regardless of what you think of them as footballers, you don't want anyone to ever be in danger. and that includes them. They're footballers of this club. Yeah, whether I like them or not in terms of their playing style and whether they're any good, you don't ever want them to be in danger. And the fact that Sky have showed their ass is a bit of a liberty. But now people can target that even more, which is quite sad. Good evening, Guna Claude. Big up, Claude. Claude, while you're on the chat, you need to get some moderators in your chat room, mate. Somebody highlighted this to me yesterday. I forgot to mention it to you, but you need to get a couple of people to moderate your chat room, mate. So yeah, try and get that, so then you can kick out all the idiots that want to give you abuse and shit like that, mate. But if you ain't subscribed to Guna Claude TV, go and do that as well. I love Claude, love him to bits. Very sticky situation, which has to be solved sooner rather than later. Big up yourself, Wilson. Hope you're well, mate. Give us a shout out, says Dean. Well, there you go. You're on the screen, mate. So I hope that's your shout out. Let's read some more of these. I'm not going to do this for a massively long stream. I'm going to do maybe another 5 minutes. I will be back at 9 o'clock. I'll do a longer one at 9. But apologies for everyone who was waiting at 5 o'clock. Paul kept me on the phone for 50 minutes. So I fully blame you, bro. Fully blame you. 67 off of 1K. Big up Football Fan Chat. Follow that account if you haven't already. Sort your bloody title out. Well, there's nothing wrong with the title, mate. It's fact. Unai Emery don't know when they're coming back. I don't know what part of that you missed. Looking fresh and clean. Thank you. Had a nice little shave this morning. Need a haircut though, man. I'm a bit worried. My hairline might go back to 98 instead of 02. Will this affect our future transfers? Well, that depends. And that's a good question, Aaron. Yeah, it depends, because this seems to have come out of nowhere. I was in Spain when this all happened, and I see Kolasinac trying to box up some geezer with a crash helmet on. And I thought it was just some sort of little thing, like little drama. But it seems to have escalated into something a lot deeper. And it seems to have gone too far now. It seems to have gone to the point where they now cannot come to football training. They cannot play games because they are actively in danger. Yeah, people are singling them out. They're targeting them. And it comes across, I don't know if this is the case, but it comes across like their lives are in danger. Now, if that's the case, that's shocking, like literally shocking. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Big up yourself, Stacey. Hope you're well. Highly, the game was okay. Got a bit speedy in the second half. Listen, the game yesterday, very quickly, I want to touch on that. The game yesterday, it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. It equalled our away clean sheets from last season, which is mad. It took us till April last season to get an away clean sheet. So yeah, I'm over the moon that we got a clean sheet yesterday. The grammar police are coming for you. Listen, mate, grammar's not my strong point. Talking is. So fuck the grammar. It's all about the talking. If people have got the ump with it, tough. Thank you very much, Jay Gunners 49. Sorry. What do you think of Mustafi being left out yesterday? I'm not sure whether that was a tactical thing or whether that was a fitness issue. I'm not too sure, mate, if I'm being honest. But you never know. He might be sold. You never know. Xhaka might be sold. Ozil, Kolasinac might be sold. There's still time to get rid of players. So players can still go on loan as long as it's abroad. But at the same time, Mustafi not in the squad and we keep a clean sheet away from home in the first away game. So I don't know. This is a good question. I like this one. What do you think of the new kit? I think that new kit is bang on. Absolutely bang on. I think it's quality, mate, and I will be getting it. I spelled doesn't wrong in your title. Who cares? Did I spell doesn't wrong? Never mind. I'll change it at the end. There we go. That'll teach me not to check it. But yeah, the new kit. I think the red kit, the home kit's the best one out of the three. I think that the blue one is second, and I'm actually disappointed with the bruised banana kit. I can't lie. I'm actually disappointed with that. Big up yourself, Joanne. Hope you're well, darling. Fire new kit. Yes, it is. Good evening to you, my friend. Where's the new background? Well, actually, funny enough, while you were watching this, I actually went and looked at a little bit of studio space earlier. I'm still waiting, believe it or not, for Amazon to send me my green screen. It still ain't here, and it says it's out for delivery 3 days ago. So little bit fuming. I can't lie. I've emailed them. No reply as yet. So we shall see. But But yeah, I did actually go and look at a little bit of studio space about a mile away from my house. So maybe by the end of this month, 1st of September, you will not be staring at this white wall in the background. You might actually be staring at a little studio, and it could be quite cool. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm going to work out the figures tonight and work out whether it's viable, and we'll move on from there. Ashwin says bought the bruised banana last week. Yeah, listen, mate, that kit, I must admit, the blue on that kit, I'm disappointed with that, mate, if I'm being honest with you. I can't lie, I'm a little bit gutted. Yeah, that kit's not the one, mate. But it could be worse. We could have Puma as our kit sponsors. But anyway, listen, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you to everybody in the chat. I know it's only a short stream. Sorry I was late. I will be back at 9 o'clock this evening. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It will be a longer stream at 9 o'clock. And before you all leave, please do subscribe, stick a thumbs up on the video. And yeah, I'll be back at 9 o'clock. Laters, peeps.